So I hope you can see my screen now.
Yes.
Okay. So I am in this MRF legal entity. I'm just going for the same menu that we have discussed yesterday, general ledger and journal names. Here under journal setup, we have journal names. So if I click here, I'll go to the journal names page where we have created two journals yesterday. Initially it takes a while to load, bear with it. So we have general journal as well as revenue journal. So under journal, we have this voucher series as general journal. So I clicked on this, so it will directly take me to that particular number sequence. So here I am. So Shiva's question is about this one, to a lower number to a higher number. Is it that, Shiva?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this one indicates or regulates the users for changing the next number here. Suppose here I am saying that yellow user changes to a higher number. Okay. And then I am trying to go and change it here. Suppose I am going to keep it as 2. So it is changing, change number sequence may create inconsistency. I'll say yes. Actually, why it's not working? Oh, one second. Let me try. Let me enable to a lower number and try to change it to 5. Okay. Let me save this part. Close this. Come back here. Edit this. And try to change this to a number 5. Okay. But this is not with continuous. Okay. Let me try to do this again to a lower number as it said. I'll change it to 6. And I'll save it. And it is allowing me. And the user changes to a so I'll keep both of them. Then I'll keep it and save it. Actually, it is agreeing. Normally, what it does is in this part, the allow user changes. So whenever user want to give any voucher number or change the next number here, so system will not allow the user to give a, I mean, to lower number or higher number. I mean, the user can only give a lower number. If at all they say that yellow user changes to a lower number, means user can only give a lower number here. So if, but I see this is not working properly here. Give me a second.
So if it is higher and we say the next as, we give the next as 1, let me pick the next number. So now here we are like picking the 12 number. So what exactly would be the number that is going to pick?
So actually if I give 12 here, so it will automatically take voucher number 12 next time when I create a voucher using it. Okay.
Then what is the next number is going to pick after that we have picked 12 as the number?
After 12 it will pick 13 again.
Okay, I got it.
Let me do it. I think this is applicable to this place. So allow user changes to a lower number. Now I'll try to keep a higher number. To suppose another 1 here. So even though it is agreeing actually. But this menu is generally used for the same. To allow a number uses, I mean, manually either to modify the number sequence value to a higher number or lower number, depending on whichever flag is selected. Suppose if I select 2 flags, I can either modify it to a lower number or to a higher number. If I don't select any flag, I can't modify it. If I make it to 9, suppose I'll try to keep it. Actually, it's not working though, but still let me try. It is allowing me here. But generally these are the options that controls the changes in the number sequence. So either to allow it to a higher number or not to allow it to a higher number in these two places, largest and next. That is also someday I'll again show you this example, maybe in another legal entity. Okay, so that might work there. So this, you see this one in use. So yesterday we did not enable this. It automatically got enabled as yes, because we are using this number sequence for the journal and we already have posted few journals, right? So that is why it is automatically using this. So next voucher is 3 only, right? We have posted 2 or created 2 vouchers already using this journal and this number sequence. So I give next number as 3 here. So that system will take the next number without missing any in between. Then let's save this, get back to the topic that we are discussing yesterday. So yesterday we have created a journal, selected a journal name and created a transaction to post such transaction, but we did not post a transaction yesterday. Today let us see how we can create transactions and post them, and different options available in journals menu, as well as we will come back again to discuss about the menu options available in journal name as well. Okay, once after discussing this part. So I click here on journals. So, I'll again navigate you through the same. In order to create a transactions in general ledger module, you have to go to journals. Again, I'll show you, write down this navigation. It's in general ledger, journal entries and general journals. Here you can see this option. In general ledger, journal entries and general journals. So once I click on journals, I'll be in the journals page. Yesterday we have created 2 journals, right? Using journal we have created 1, and revenue journal we have created 1. So we already have certain transactions within it. We'll see that later. We will post these 2 journals later, but for now I'll create a new journal. So to create a new journal, I have to click here on new. Okay. So whenever I create this new, I see this unique journal batch number, and it asks me an option to select the journal name. See, this is in red color box, which means it is compulsory to select a journal name to create any transaction within that journal. When I select journal name, then only I see these options getting enabled. Other than that, I don't see these options getting enabled. So if I select a journal name, suppose I select journal again here, I'll get the same description. The journal name description will be appearing here. I can change it if I want to. I can normally say it as some other expense. I can say travel expense or paying any expenses. Anything I can write it here in this, if at all in description. Then in this header level, I can see few options like posted. If it is posted, it will show as tick mark posted. Yes, posted on so and so date. And if there is any error message while posting it, that log details will appear here. If log is available, it shows that yes, log is available, and you can check that error message here in history. Here log details will appear. Okay. If at all it is in use by another user, suppose Santosh is using this system as well, and Santosh opened this journal, and I also logged into the system as an user, I can't open this since Santosh already is using this journal. So once Santosh come back, then only I can use this journal, or else I have another option here, blocking. In this, in use will be enabled when Santosh opens that journal. I can deselect this in use to no, so that Santosh license for the journal will be relieved and I can open the journal next time. So that option is available here. So we also have something called as reversing entry. We'll see that part later. What is reversing entry and all. Here created by or modified by showing as admin because I logged in with admin ID only here, admin. So that is why it's showing as admin. If at all in your organization or in your project, if they give you a unique email ID and username in this, then you will get your name. Suppose Santosh is having a mail ID to log in and Santosh logged in with that ID and Santosh username is created in journals. I mean, created in the organization as Santosh and Santosh name will appear here. One second. So actually this level in a journal is called as header level. Okay. We also have lines in the journal where we actually create the transaction. So that is called as line level. So this one is called as header level. There can be any number of lines in the line level. Actually, there is certain limit for posting lines in a journal. It's like 3000 lines or somewhere around. More than that, system will slow down or sometimes fail posting it. Okay. We can create lines within the journal. So this part and this menu here is called as header level menu. And within that, we can create lines, which is called line level menu. Okay. 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry for that. So let us come back again to discuss this header level menu. First, let us create some lines within the journal. Okay, here I'm going into the lines. So here I see unique voucher number is created with journal 0003. Okay, this is the next number. So we can see the date for posting a transaction. We can see today's date here. You can change the date if you want to. If you want to post a backdated transaction, you can go for backdate here. If you want to post a transaction for later date or future date, you can select that future date here if you want to. Anything you can do. If you want to post for today only, you can select today. So depending on what date you select here, the accounting impacts will be done on the books with for this particular date only. Okay, remember that. Guys, you can mute yourself. Actually, if you have any doubts, then you can unmute. Okay. Thank you. And this date we select here is a transaction date. So whatever date here we select here, the accounting impacts will also be done on same date or will be shown as the accounting impacts are done on that date. But however, we have a date of posting the journal, date and time of the journal posting date and time, that's separate again. But this is the date that we select, or it automatically shows default date as that particular day's date, today's date, if it all we are creating it today. So you can select any date if you want. Then we have this unique voucher number automatically taking up. Then I see the company name MRF. I'm using the same company. So normally in case of intercompany transactions, when we transfer funds from one company to other company, we used to change the company names. We'll see that topic later in the course. For now, the company name is MRF only. I can see all the other company names also in the drop down here. Later, while discussing intercompany, we'll change it. Okay. And we have account types as ledger, customer, vendor, project, fixed assets, and bank. So you can make transactions for any vendors and customers as well as for projects and fixed assets from this place, from general ledger as well. So you can separately do transactions from designated modules like accounts payable, receivable, and fixed asset, cash, and bank management. However, you can also make transactions, every transaction from general ledger as well, transaction related to any of these vendors or customers or all. But by default, the account type will be selected as ledger. Okay. Since we don't have any customers or vendors created now, we can't do any transactions with them. But usually, if we'll going further, we will create those customers and vendors also, and we'll see that. Okay. Then here, the account, you have to select an account. So I told you for every transaction, there will be two accounts selected. One will be definitely debited and one will be definitely credited, at least two accounts. Okay, you can have two or more accounts. If it is a compound entry, you can have more accounts, more than two. But if at all it is a normal entry, you should at least have two accounts. One account will be debiting, one account will be crediting for the same amount. So here I'll select the account. I'll select a travel expense account if at all I have the travel expense account already. So I think I don't have travel expenses account. So let us create one account, no problem, right? So I'll just go right click, go for view details, go into the main accounts. Here I have rent, salary expense, electricity expense, other expenses as well. I'll create one more account with 5 series, 5,06,000. 1 second. 5,06,000, which is travel expenses, and I'll select the expense account here. I'll save it. Now I'll go back. I'll refresh this form. Oh, no need to refresh. Actually, I can select that account already, which will be helping here. 5,06,000. If I drop down, I can see the travel expense account already showing up. So to which location you are paying the travel expenses, you can select the location. I'm paying the travel expense of Hyderabad location and to the people in sales and marketing department. Okay, I'm not selecting the cost center. I don't want the cost center to be selected. So I selected the main account, which is travel expense account, as well as Hyderabad location, as well as sales and marketing department. So here what it indicates is I am paying the travel expenses of the people in the sales and marketing department who is working for Hyderabad location. Okay, in the Hyderabad office for the sales and marketing team members, I am paying the travel expenses. That is the whole explanation for this particular selection of code here. There are main accounts as well as financial dimension combination code. Clear this, guys, until here? Seshu, Sairam.
Just repeat, clear.
Okay, is it clear until the selection up to here?
Here,
Everyone?
in the legal entity, we will have multiple transactions to be posted, right? So as
Okay.
you have said, the only system will allow for 3,000 lines. How then it can be if more
I
than
mean,
3,000?
I said 3,000 lines within one journal. You can create more
Okay,
journals and
with
more
more
lines in those
journals.
journals. Okay.
Okay, with the same general journal, right? With that
Yeah,
name.
with the same journal you can create, and the next voucher number will anyway follow up there, right?
Okay.
So no problem. Okay. Previously it used to allow, but in case if you have multiple dimensions, long dimensions like 10 dimensions and more lines, then system will slow down the performance. It doesn't mean that it don't post, but it takes us some time to post.
Okay.
Okay.
Here you have said that till the I mean 202 that financial if we want the employee as well from that
Then
particular department.
then you can create a financial dimension as employee and all the employee names as well in the financial dimension.
Okay.
Okay. Then you can select the employee here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So normally I'm paying roughly for all the sales and marketing department people, I'm paying the travel expenses.
Okay.
Okay. I'm reimbursing the travel expenses otherwise, I can say. Okay. I can add a description here if at all the description is needed. So you can write a description like this: payment of travel expenses.
Me.
I'm missing N expenses for Hyderabad location. You can write like it. There is no need to write the description also. If at all you don't want it, you don't have to write. I can always adjust my rows like this. Sorry, columns like this in this manner, one by one. Then we know that we have to debit the travel expense account. So travel expenses, the expense accounts are always debit in nature. So I have to debit the account. So I'm debiting it with $1,000. Okay. Say I selected $1,000. So since our legal entity's accounting currency is US dollar, right? That is why I'm saying that I'm $1,000. Okay. So there is no need to enter a credit value once again. So, okay, in Dynamics, you don't have to enter a credit value. Whatever the account that you select here, which is called as the offset account. So then the account will be automatically credited. But if at all I am not selecting debit here and I'm selecting credit here, then this account will be credited. Okay. Whatever the selection you have done or the amount you have entered here in debit or credit, that will be applicable for this account or the main account that you select here. So the other one will be applicable for the offset account. Okay, so I am selecting the offset account as my cash accounts. Okay, the cash will be deducted from my cash account, so it will be credited anyway. So since it is an asset account and this selection is automatical, Hyderabad and sales and marketing is taken up from here automatically. If you want to change it, you can change it. But I want to keep the same codes and I'll keep the same. You see, this account is a expense account which belongs to profit and loss accounts, right? So I can see cost center as additional dimension here. But whereas it comes to offset account, this is an asset account, but I don't see another cost center dimension here appearing here. Any reason for this? Anybody?
So we have not enabled it for balance sheet, right? Only we have enabled only for P&L.
What we have enabled?
I mean, this is done.
And where we have enabled?
I mean, this cost centers we have enabled only for P&L accounts.
Okay, where we have enabled it?
No.
I need to.
Yeah, there is a configuration for it.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it is called account structure. In account structure, we have two separate account structures. For P&L account structure, we have enabled cost center dimension, but for a balance sheet accounts, we excluded the cost center dimension. So that is why for P&L accounts, I can see the cost center as well. Whereas it comes to balance sheet accounts, I can't see cost center here. So that's the whole agenda of creating two different account structures. Got it, guys? Understood? All of you? Sairam, Sushila.
Yeah, understood.
Okay. Then offset company is also MRF only because I'm doing transaction for my company only. For both here, the company for the main account as well as the offset account, both it will be MRF only. So I have selected one ledger account here and another ledger account here. Okay. So now I can save this. You don't have to save this. You can normally post it, but I'm just saving it. Okay. When I save it, I can see here the debit amount in the voucher is 1,000 and the credit amount in the voucher is 1,000. And in the total journal also the debit amount is 1,000 and credit amount is 1,000. I can create as many vouchers as I want. I can also create a new line here. Okay. I can create a new line. Suppose if I create a new line, I can see this one. Here I'll create a new I'll select the same travel expenses account as I'll show you. But this time I'll pay travel expense of a separate location. I'll pay travel expense of Bangalore location this time and for the same department, sales and marketing. Okay. Since Bangalore is a bigger city, I'll select our debit with $2,000. Okay. Just with a assumption. So you don't have to give description, but if you have to give description, I'll copy the same. Oh, sorry. I'll go back. I'll copy the same. I can give the same description, but I'll change this Hyderabad to Bangalore. Yeah. Okay. I can select the same cash account for payment of the amount. So I can select cash account, Bangalore location and sales and marketing, or I can select finance department here because I'm paying my cash from finance department, right? So I can select finance department. In the same way, I can select finance department here since I'm paying cash from my finance department. Anything you can select, it's up to you. So I created two now. Now you can see the voucher amount is 1000. Since this voucher number 03, the amount is 1000 only. But whereas you see the journal total amount is 3000, means here you see to combined value is 3000. So that is shown up here. And you see balance is 00, which means the vouchers are perfectly balanced. If you have any differences here, you cannot post the voucher. Here the debit and credit both are 1000. Here the debit and credit both are 2000 in this. As I told you, you don't have to enter the credit value again. So it will automatically consider the credit for the offset account here once you enter the debit amount here. Okay. So now any doubt until here, this part, you can raise any doubts.
Differences like what? I mean, you said like differences in balance, it will not be posted. So differences like what?
JP, that's what even I'm hanging out. So could you show us one transaction with some difference amount and
I'll show you. I'll show you in the next example. Whereas where we create a compound entry, I'll show you the next example. Okay.
Okay, sure.
How often that happens actually?
How often that happens? As often as users do mistake, that happens.
Okay, got it.
Okay, I'll show you once in the next example. It's creating compound entry, and I'll show you that. Okay, now I'll generally validate this to check if there are any errors or if there are anything missing or anything given wrong. It will show me what when we do validation. If I click on validate voucher only, it will validate only voucher number 4 since I have selected it. If I click on validate means it will validate the entire journal. How many our lines we have, how many our vouchers we have in the journal. It will validate the entire lines and vouchers in the journal. So I'll click on validate so that it will validate all the 2 vouchers we have in the journal. So before posting, we can validate it. Once we validate it, we can see any error messages are there. If we missed anything, the system will normally show warning messages or error messages like that. Here it is showing that journal is okay, which means we don't have any issues with posting this. Now we can post this journal here. This button is posting. Once you post the journal, you can't revert it or you can't cancel it. You can reverse it. And so we see that part reversing the transactions again. But once you post the journal, you can't make any changes here in this part. So now I can post this. Fine. See, now it is saying operation is completed. Number of vouchers posted in the journal is 2. Okay, now the financial impact is done. Only once you post it, then only the accounts will get impacted. Merely by creating the journal and validating, you don't have any financial impacts. Only once you post it, then only you have financial impacts. Now this account is debited with 3000 totally. I mean, with the different dimension values anyway, but the same account is debited with 3000 and cash account is credited with 3000. You can check the account balances usually in trial balance. So I'll show you the place where you can track your account balances quickly. So that's a topic again in in the general ledger course only, module only, but I'll roughly show you how you can track the balances. So you can go to general ledger here and you can go to inquiries and reports, the second menu after journal entries. In inquiries and reports, we can see trial balance option. Okay, general ledger, inquiries and reports, trial balance. Trial balance is an inquiry. So we have reports separately again here. So under inquiries and reports, we have all this. So I click on trial balance here. Here I can run trial balance for so and so period. I can select a date from 1st of January to 12th December 2021. I selected almost all the fiscal year, starting of fiscal year date to end of fiscal year date. And then selecting financial dimension set as main account. We'll see this financial dimension sets concept again. So I'll just click on calculate balances. Here I have a button calculate balances. If I click here, system will automatically calculate the balances for the accounts. For the remaining accounts, we don't have any transactions set, right? So it is not showing any balance. But for these 2 accounts, we have posted some transactions, right? So for travel expenses, the existing balance in the account is 3000 debit balance. Coming to cash account, the existing balance in the account is 3000 credit balance, and the closing balance is also the same. Opening balance is 0 because we did not bring any balances from previous year, right? So opening balance will be 0. We freshly started our accounting from this year only. So this is the very first transaction that we have done. So we can see that 3000 debit and 3000 credit here for travel expense and cash account separately. Clear this part? How the financial impacts are done here for the accounts once we post any transactions?
Once, just only once, this part.
This part, so
Yeah,
this is an inquiry. This is an
Yes.
inquiry to understand how much each account have a balance. So we have posted 2 transactions, right? So in each transaction, I have debited the same travel expense account 5,06,000 and credited the same cash account 1 lakh account for 1000 and 2000, which means totally of 3000. So when I come and track the balances here, then I can see for travel expenses 3000 is debited, for cash account 3000 is credited. The same that is happened here for travel expenses. Same travel expense account, we have selected debit and credit 1000 and 2000, totally 3000. Same cash account 3000. So the same is happening here. The trial balance is showing 0 balance, means trial balance is balanced. Always your trial balance should show 0 only. That means you are maintaining accurate account. So we have seen this part in BCom or MBA. Wherever you have done in intro also we have trial balance concept if at all you go coming from a commerce background. So this is a place where you can track them. For these posted transactions, you can also generally check the voucher that is posted. So this one is posted, right? Voucher number 003. If you select this and click here on voucher in the journal, here you see the option voucher. You can see the posted voucher. So you can see this voucher number, posted voucher number 003. You can see the date. You can see the ledger account selected. So you can see this cash account and you see cash here. You can also see description. I'm just minimizing this and maximizing this. Description, Hyderabad location and currency. You posted this journal in US dollar only, right? So you see USD 1000 is credited for cash account, travel expenses debited. So debit is shown in the plus and credit is shown in the minus amount here actually. So here I see the amount in reporting currency. Amount in reporting currency is showing up in a different number. Any idea why this is showing in a different number? Anybody? Anyone except
Maybe exchange rate differences, isn't it?
Exchange rate differences. Okay.
Because we have given the exchange rate provider as a Central Bank of Europe.
No, not actually. That is the reason. But beforehand, we have done something else. Or anybody having any idea? What is the reporting currency for this legal entity? Anyone?
Group company, where the reporting currency will be the group company currency.
Okay, what is the reporting currency we have selected for creating this league? When we are creating ledger page, in the ledger page we have selected accounting currency as well as reporting currency. So our accounting currency is US dollar. I remember that. So what is the reporting currency we have selected?
Indian rupee.
No, we did not selected Indian rupee.
Euro? Is it euro?
Yes, we did selected euro. Okay. So as I told you, if you are maintaining your accounts in 2 different currencies, accounting and reporting currency, whenever you do any transaction, amount will be posted in accounting currency as well as reporting currency. Okay, so this is the accounting currency amount. This is the reporting currency amount. Since our transaction currency is also US dollar, it is showing the same amount. If at all I have done transaction in a foreign currency like CHF or any other Australian dollar currency, I can see that amount here and the converted US dollar amount here and the converted euro amount here. Okay. Since I have done transaction US dollar only, it is showing transaction currency amount in US dollar only. Accounting currency is US dollar only, right? So it is showing the same amount. Whereas it comes to reporting currency, our reporting currency is euro. So this is automatically converting the balance into the exchange rate that is the exchange rate that is already there in the system. So where we have given that currency is here in the ledger setup ledger page, where we have combined everything, the chart of accounts, calendar, account structure, currencies. So here we gave this currency, accounting currency as US dollar and reporting currency as euro. You have to remember this, guys, you should not forget. Okay, now see, I want to change chart of accounts, I can't change it. I want to change accounting currency, reporting currency, I can't change. I don't see the change option. Why? Any idea again?
We have already posted the transactions. That's why I can't able to change.
Exactly. We have already posted transactions so that we can't change these things once again. But you can change the calendar if you want to. So we'll see that concept later. Okay, you can select any other calendar here. But you can't change this chart of accounts and accounting and reporting currencies. Definitely you can't change them. You can also change the account structures if you want, but you can't change these three things. Do remember that since we have posted the transaction already. So this is how we can track the posted transaction. So this is how reporting currency balances show up. So then you can see the created date and time of this transaction or this voucher. So it is created on so and so date and it is posted. Modified date and time, why it is showing 19th of July. I don't know why it's showing 19th of July, but it should show the same date actually. So then I'll just go back. I'll select this one, the other voucher we have posted, voucher number 004. If I click on voucher again, it will show me the unique transaction posted for that voucher. For voucher number 004, cash account is selected, Bangalore location is selected, finance department is selected for crediting the cash account, because cash account is created with $2,000, whereas travel expense account is debited with $2,000. For travel expenses, we have selected Bangalore location and sales and marketing as a combination. So accounting currency, currency in reporting currency, amount in reporting currency is in euros. So it is almost 1698.51 euros. The $2,000 is converted according to the latest exchange rate available in the system. So we might be having the exchange rate of the same day when we have imported the exchange rate. According to that rate only, system converted it into the reporting currency balance. Okay. So that exchange rate will be picked from this exchange rate type we have given in the ledger page again. So in the ledger page here, we have given this exchange rate type as MRF. In this MRF exchange rate type, we have exchange rates. Within that exchange rate, for euro to US dollar or US dollar to euro, we have an exchange rate somewhere here. So for 1 euro, I'm almost getting 1.175 US dollars. So when it converts it into 1000 US dollars, it will be 891 or something euros. So according to this, so that's why the same amount is posted here. For $2,000, it is 1698 euros conversion. So now if I go back, I can see this journal is posted. You can see the posted tick mark enabled automatically. As well, you can see the date and time of posting. So it is showing 8 AM because it is using Pacific time. In legal entity, we have selected Pacific time zone. So that is why it is showing AM. Okay. So then I can see my name or the details that I have logged in with is admin details. So I have seen the admin details here. So this transaction is now posted. Clear this one until here. How to create and post a transaction. Now I can also post this transaction revenue journal, which we already created. I'll go into lines here. I'll click on lines. Within this, I have a voucher number. I'll select an account. So since this is a revenue journal, I'll select a revenue account for. So I'll go for 4 series. So it's business revenue. So okay, I'll select this account. So revenue earned from Bangalore location. Okay, I'm not selecting any department. And let me leave this department option. Okay. So here I can select, sorry, the revenues are always credited, right? So I'll select credit and I'll credit $5,000 of revenue. Okay, my revenue amount will be sent to my cash account only, right? My cash account will be debited in the opposite to the revenue account. So I'll select my cash account once again. Yeah, it is cash account of Bangalore location only. So I am earning I earned a revenue and I'm entering the same transaction. Revenue account is credited and cash account is debited. Cash is being transferred into the cash account. So I selected the cash account here. Now I can click on save. I can see the voucher amount 5,000 and journal amount also 5,000. I can validate this to check if there are any errors. There won't be any errors mostly. So there are no errors. Then I can post it. So this is how we can post a transaction. So if I go back, I see 2 journals are posted and 1 is not posted yet. So if I refresh this, I can see only 1 journal here. So here it is showing only the not posted journals. So if I go for posted, I can see the posted journals. If I go for all, I can see all the journals, 2 posted and 1 non posted as well. Here I have option called show user created only, which means it shows the journals that are only created by user. So why it's not showing this one? This is created by same user, right? So actually, if at all I go for all, it will show all the journals which were created by different people in the department. Suppose I want to see the journal that are created by me only, I can enable this tick mark so that it will show me all the journal that are created by me only. So I don't know why that is leaving that journal, but that is also created by me only. I mean by the admin details only, right? So it generally shows all the transactions that are created by you with your username. Okay. Then I can go for not posted selection again so that I have one more journal that is not posted here. I'll leave it. I'll post it later. I'll create a new journal for you for explaining some other concept now. Okay, I'll select same journal this time also. I'll go for lines. So I can see journal batch number as 4. And if I go for lines, I can see unique voucher number will be taken as 5 since we have posted voucher number 3 and 4 already. And 1 and 2 are already selected in the journal the outside. So voucher number 5 will be taken up automatically. Now, does anybody have any idea about a compound entry? What is a compound entry? Anyone? Sairam. Sairam, you there? Seshu, Bala, anybody having any idea about what is a compound entry? So Kyle will explain. Compound entry is an entry where you use more than 2 accounts. So until now we have posted few transactions using only 2 accounts. So in compound entry we generally use more than 2 accounts. Suppose I'll give a small example. I will use travel expenses account. I'll debit it for 1,000. Okay, I will use my rent expenses account. I'll debit the same again for another $500. Okay, this time I'll use my cash account to pay all these 2 transactions. So cash account will be combinedly credited with $1,500. Okay, these 2 rent transactions, expenses, I am paying using my cash account. So travel expenses will be debited with 1,000 and rent expenses will be debited with 500. Total of the expenses I am paying through my cash account, which will be created with 1,500. So this is called as a compound entry. More than 2 accounts I am using. Usually previously I have used travel expenses as 1,000 and cash account created as 1,000, which means I only have 2 accounts. in place. But now I have more than 2 accounts. For these kind of scenarios, we use compound entries. So now I'll show you an example in Dynamics how we can create a compound entry or achieve this kind of situation. Okay, if at all you want to achieve this kind of situation, you can use travel expenses as debit for 1000 and cash account as, cash as credit for 1000 here itself. You can post it in one voucher. Again, you can use this cash account credit for 500 in one voucher. Sorry, not 10,000, 1000. You can also post individual transactions like this. But if at all I want to post all the three into a single voucher number, rather than if at all I create it like this, I'll get two different voucher numbers. But if I want to post them in a single voucher number, I have to create a compound entry. So I'll show you how to create a compound entry now here in Dynamics. So I'm going here. I am selecting my travel expense account here in the account part. So this is date selection and everything is okay for me. So I'm selecting the travel expense account here. So travel expenses of Chennai location this time I'm paying. Okay, I'm not selecting any department this time. Okay, only travel expense of Chennai location. Okay, and the debit amount is I'm giving $1000. Okay, I can give a cash account here and I can create one more line. You can finish this voucher and I can create one more voucher. But I don't want to create it like that. I want to create the same voucher number again. So if at all you leave this voucher as incomplete, means giving only one account and balance but not giving the offset account, this will be an incomplete voucher or imbalanced voucher. Now if I save it, I can see debit is 1000, credit is nothing, but balance is 1000, which means this is not a balanced voucher. If at all I give offset account, then only credit will be applied to that offset account and this voucher will become balanced. Debit will show up as 1000, credit will show up as 1000 and balance will show up as 0, like in the previous scenario we have done. But if I don't give offset account, credit won't be applicable to this voucher, only debit is applicable. And I see the balance here as 1000 and credit is not applicable. So if I create a new line again, it will take the same voucher number once again, because this voucher number is not completed yet, right? Not finished yet. So it will take the same voucher number, assuming that I'm going to give the balancing account here in this voucher. The credit account here in this voucher. Here what I'm doing is I'm selecting the rent expense account for the compound entry. I select the rent expense account again for Chennai location. Okay. Travel expenses for Chennai location and rent expense for Chennai location. So I am debiting 500 rupees rent, $500 rent suppose. Now if I save this, I see debit as 1500 because both in the same voucher in both the lines, I have created debit balances only. I don't have offset accounts for application of credit. So that's why I see credit as 0 and balance on voucher is 1500. So I have to create an appropriate credit balance as well. So for 1500, I want to create my credit balance. So for that creation, I can create new again here for the third line. In the third line, what I can do is I can go for cash account here selection. You don't have to select the cash account in the offset account, but you can directly select the cash account in this account and you can give the credit amount here as 1500 like this. So now if I save this, I see this is balanced. Debit is 1500, credit is 1500, balance is 0. So I did not select any offset account. Automatically this will become the offset account. Whatever we have credited here will become the offset account. Whatever we have debited here will become the main accounts. Or this is also a kind of transaction. We can post a transaction like this also. Rather than selecting both the accounts in a single line, we can select in two different lines as well. The voucher number is same again here, you see. If at all we create imbalanced vouchers or vouchers with half data, it will automatically take the same voucher number again for the next line. So this is how we create a compound entry. Travel expenses is debited for 1000, rent expense is debited for 500, cash account is created for 1500. So total the voucher amount is 1500. So two accounts are debited, third account is being credited. Cash is being paid for these two expenses. That's the definition of this transaction. Understood guys this part? Any confusion in this? Anyone? Seshu, Shiva, Bala.
So here we have paid for two accounts, right? One is
Yes.
like
One is travel expenses, another one is rent expenses. So I'm paying for two expenses using my cash account. So this is called a compound entry. Whereas we use more than two accounts, we call it as a compound entry.
can you go to the account? I mean, can I see the accounts here in the account section?
This one,
Yeah. I mean the two accounts. Okay.
cash account. So this one is rent account, 5 lakhs.
Okay.
So I can drop down here, I can see rent expense and Chennai location. And if I select this line and drop down this, I can see travel expense and Chennai location. Okay. So in case of compound entries, you don't have to select the offset account. Okay, you can directly enter the third account here in the account itself and give the credit balance. And now you can validate this voucher. And you can see it is saying no problem, journal is okay. Now you can post this. So now it is saying that journal is posted. Now if I want to check the voucher, I can click here on the voucher and see the balances posted for each and every account. So for travel expense account, I see 1000 is debited, for rent expenses 500 is debited, for cash account 1500 is credited. So all the three lines are coming in the same voucher number 005. Right, and I can see the currency amount in reporting currency as well in euros. So this is converted automatically according to this exchange rate. So euro to US dollar exchange rate is there, right? 1.17 US dollar is for 1 euro. So here I am having 1000 euros. So it is automatically converted into 949.26. So for 949.26 euros, I am getting 1000 US dollar automatically. So this 1000 US dollar is converted in the same exchange rate. With the help of exchange rate, it is converted. So this is how we can post a compound entry. Confusion in this, anything understood this part Atnil here, how to create a compound entry and post it and how to track the voucher? All of you. Now I'll show you once again the trial balance amounts. So I can go to trial balance and inquiries and reports again. So what would be the balance for cash account? Anybody? Before I calculate the balances, any idea what would be the balance for cash account? We have posted some 3 transactions until now for the cash account. So previously 3000 is credited. Previously 3000 is credited in the first journal we posted. In the second journal, in the second journal we posted, we have debited 5000 with for the cash account. We received the revenue and debited the cash account. And finally we have credited the cash account with 1500. So somebody said it is 500. So 500 debit balance should be the cash balance. Exactly. So let us check. So click on calculate balances. I see my cash account here. 5000 is debited for the cash account. This is the revenue transaction we posted. Revenue account is credited and cash account is debited, right? So that revenue account is created for 5000, cash account is debited for 5000. And I see credit balance combined cumulative credit balances. I see 4500, 3000 in the first journal and 1500 in the very recent journal. So totally debit 5000, credit 4500, and the closing balance or the ending balance I see is $500 debit. Positive indicates it's a debit balance in the account. Whereas it comes to revenue account, I see only one transaction posted and we have credited the revenue account for 5000. I see negative 5000 amount. The same with rent expenses. I see 500 debited. I see 500 here, and travel expenses 4000. I can see 4000 here. Okay, if at all you want to track the transactions for all the 4000 that is debited for travel expenses, you can click on this balance amount here. 4,000. So it will take you directly to the transactions that are posted. See, using that travel expense account, we have posted 3 transactions. 1,000, 2,000 and 1,000. 3 transactions. So these 2 are for first journal we have posted, right? Voucher numbers also you can see 3, voucher number 3, 4. Under voucher number 3 and 4 we have 1,000 debit and 2,000 debit for the same travel expense account. Under voucher number 5 we have 1,000 debit, totally 4,000 debit. I can go back, I can also see for credit, but we don't have any credit here. Whereas if I go for cash account and if I click on closing balance and if I click on this link on closing balance amount, I can see all the transactions, debits, credits and everything. So totally there are credits of 4,500, debit of 5,000 for the same cash account. So this is only the transaction for cash account. You can see only for cash account. And this is the balance in reporting currency. Okay. So this is how we can track the balances of each account if you want to. But for every transaction, they won't track. They'll track them on periodic basis for every 15 days or 30 days like that. For preparation of monthly balance reports, they'll run the trial balance actually. So I'll go back here to the journals again. So now let me know if you have any doubts in this part or if you need any more example in this again. So I totally have 3 journals posted for now. 1 unposted journal is there. Tomorrow we'll post this one. So we have 3 journals posted. So guys, is it clear about how to create a journal entry? How to create an accounting entry and post it? All of you?
I have just small trivial doubt.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to understand like posted and not posted. Like not posted is something like I'm unable to. There's some
See, we created this journal number 001, but we did not post it. If I go for lines here in this, I can see filled lines. Voucher number is filled. Okay. This debit or credit, we have taken it. We also gave the offset account, but we did not post it. We just left it over like this. It is still in draft status. Okay.
So are we waiting for any kind of clarification? I'm not asking in here now, but generally,
Yeah, in case if you need any clarifications or you have any confusion about the journal, or if you wanted to post it after few approvals, so you will keep it in draft status. You don't post it. Okay. If everything is clear, you can post it. For now, I am just keeping it as not posted. I'll post it later. Once I get a clarity on it, I'll post it later. So that's my agenda. So that not posted journals which are created but in draft status will be showed in the not posted menu. Whereas I go for posted, I see all the 3 journals that I posted already. So you can't make any changes in the posted journals. Whereas for not posted journals, you can go into the lines, delete the lines or change the accounts in the lines and balance in the lines. You can do anything and you can post them later as you wish. Okay, you can also delete this journal if you want to. You can just click here and delete. Whereas for posted journals, you can't delete them. The delete option is disabled. See here. Okay, you can't delete the already posted transactions. You can never delete.
So not posting is almost as good as like non-existent. Seems like
it exists, but you have to confirm and post it, or you have to get the necessary approvals and post it. That's all. You just created transaction. You just left it like this. You will ask somebody to validate it. So you create a transaction with 10 lines and you will say me to check it once again. So what I'll do is I'll go to this transaction, I'll check and I'll let you know that there are no mistakes in this. You can go ahead and post it. So you will post it. Or else if your manager or supervisor have to look into this channel and you will inform them that you have to check into this channel, they'll check it and later once they confirm that it is good, you can post it. Until then it will be like this only. Just created status. Okay. So this is about posting a transaction and creating a compound entry and posting it. In the next class, we'll discuss about these items in this menu items. So journal, blocking, setup and everything. And also in the line level, we have certain details here. In the same we have almost all, but this is specific to single line. The details here are specific to single line. The details outside are specific to all the lines within the journal. If we have 10 vouchers, the details or menu items we change here are applicable to all the 10 lines. Whereas it comes to this menu here within the lines is applicable only to that particular single voucher line. This menu details here. So we'll see this part as well as the menu in the journal names tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow would be Wednesday, so I just forgot to tell you that I would be traveling on Thursday and Friday mostly, so I wouldn't be able to take class on Thursday and Friday. And if possible, if I would return early on Saturday, I'll take a class on Saturday, or if not, I'll convey you. Later we can take it on directly on Monday once again. So it would be only tomorrow mostly. Day after tomorrow on Friday, I'll be traveling to another place. I'll be returning only on Saturday mostly. Okay, you'll get ample time to practice. Please utilize your time to practice all the topic that we have discussed until now. So this is for today. And if you have any doubts, you can stay back and ask the doubt. I'll stop recording until here.